The Knights Templar are among the most mysterious figures in history. Some believe they discovered the Holy Grail. Others claim they found the Ark of the Covenant, amassed unimaginable wealth, and secretly shaped the course of world history. Countless books, films, and conspiracy theories have transformed them into legendary guardians of hidden knowledge. But how much of that is actually true? Modern historians and archaeologists have spent decades separating fact from fiction, and the real story is every bit as fascinating as the legends. Far from being supernatural guardians of secret treasures, the Knights Templar were real men who lived, fought, prayed, accumulated immense influence, and ultimately became victims of one of the greatest political betrayals of the Middle Ages. The story of the Knights Templar began after the First Crusade. In 1099, Christian armies captured Jerusalem, opening the Holy City to thousands of European pilgrims. But the journey remained incredibly dangerous. Bandits frequently attacked travelers on the lonely roads leading through the Holy Land. Around 1119, a small group of 9 French knights, led by Jacques de Molay, made an extraordinary vow. Instead of seeking wealth or glory, they pledged to protect pilgrims, defend the Christian holy sites, and live lives of poverty, chastity, and obedience. King Baldwin II of Jerusalem granted them quarters on the Temple Mount, believed by many to stand on the site of Solomon's Temple. From that location came the name that would become famous throughout history: the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, better known simply as the Knights Templar. At first, the Knights Templar were little more than a handful of poor warrior monks. Everything changed in 1129 when the Church officially recognized the order at the Council of Troyes. Soon after, Pope Innocent II granted the Templars extraordinary privileges. They answered only to the Pope himself, paid no taxes, and could travel freely across Christian kingdoms without interference from local rulers. Donations poured in from kings, nobles, and wealthy families eager to support the defense of the Holy Land. Within decades, the order owned thousands of estates, castles, farms, vineyards, mills, and churches stretching from England to the Middle East. What had begun as 9 knights protecting pilgrims had become one of the richest and most influential institutions in medieval Europe. As the order expanded across Europe, the Knights Templar developed something that seemed almost impossible for the Middle Ages: a secure international financial network. Pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land no longer needed to carry large amounts of gold or silver across dangerous roads. Instead, they could deposit their money at a Templar commandery in one country and receive a written document that allowed them to withdraw the equivalent amount at another Templar fortress hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away. While this was not a bank in the modern sense, it was a revolutionary financial system based on trust, security, and an international network. Kings, merchants, and nobles soon began using Templar services, making the order not only one of Europe's greatest military organizations, but also one of its most trusted financial institutions. The Knights Templar were not ordinary soldiers. Before every battle, they took religious vows, attended daily prayers, and lived under one of the strictest military rules of the Middle Ages. On the battlefield, discipline was absolute. A Templar knight was forbidden to flee unless specifically ordered to retreat. Their famous white mantles with the red cross became symbols of courage and often of sacrifice. Muslim chroniclers respected them as fearless opponents, while Christian armies relied on them during the most dangerous moments of battle. Yet their greatest strength was not individual bravery. It was their unmatched discipline, organization, and willingness to fight as a single united force. Those qualities made the Templars one of the most effective military orders ever created, and one of the most feared. By the beginning of the 14th century, the Knights Templar had become one of the wealthiest and most influential organizations in Europe. But their greatest danger no longer came from the battlefield. It came from the throne of France. King Philip IV was deeply in debt after years of expensive wars and political struggles. The Templars possessed enormous wealth, extensive lands, and a financial network that even kings depended upon. Eliminating the order would erase Philip's debts and allow him to seize much of its property. What followed was not a holy mission, but a carefully planned political operation. Secret accusations were prepared, arrest warrants were issued in absolute secrecy, and one of the most powerful organizations in medieval Europe was about to face its darkest hour. Before dawn on Friday, October 13th, 1307, royal officials across France opened sealed orders that had been kept secret for weeks. Their instructions were identical: arrest every Knight Templar without warning. Within hours, hundreds of Templars were captured, including the order's Grand Master, Jacques de Molay. They were accused of heresy, idol worship, blasphemy, and countless shocking crimes. Under brutal torture, many prisoners confessed to acts they almost certainly never committed. Modern historians agree that these confessions cannot be considered reliable evidence. Instead, they reveal how political power and fear were used to destroy one of the most powerful organizations in medieval Europe. In a single day, the seemingly untouchable Knights Templar collapsed. When the Knights Templar were arrested, many expected French officials to uncover unimaginable riches. Instead, they found surprisingly little. This unexpected discovery gave birth to one of history's greatest mysteries. Had the Templars secretly moved their wealth before the arrests? Some chronicles mention wagons leaving Paris shortly before October 13th, while later legends claim that a small Templar fleet disappeared from the French port of La Rochelle without a trace. Over the centuries, these stories inspired countless theories linking the Templars to hidden gold, the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, and even secret voyages across the Atlantic. Yet despite centuries of searching, no convincing archaeological evidence has ever confirmed the existence of a lost Templar treasure. The mystery remains fascinating, but history and legend are not always the same thing. In 1314, after years of imprisonment and repeated trials, Grand Master Jacques de Molay was brought before the people of Paris. Under enormous pressure, he had previously confessed to crimes against the church. But on the day of his final judgment, he did something completely unexpected. Jacques de Molay publicly withdrew his confession and declared the Knights Templar innocent. King Philip IV immediately ordered him to be burned at the stake as a relapsed heretic. According to later chronicles, as the flames rose around him, de Molay called upon both Pope Clement V and King Philip IV to answer before God's judgment within a year. Remarkably, both men died within the following months. Whether this was coincidence or simply the birth of a powerful legend remains one of the most famous mysteries in medieval history. More than 700 years after the fall of the Knights Templar, their legend is stronger than ever. They have been linked to the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, the Freemasons, hidden treasures, and countless secret societies. Yet modern historical research paints a different picture. The Templars were neither supernatural guardians nor rulers of the world. They were highly disciplined warrior monks who built one of the most sophisticated military and financial organizations of the Middle Ages. Their destruction was driven far more by politics, money, and royal ambition than by proven crimes. Although many mysteries still remain, the greatest truth is perhaps the simplest one. History is often far more fascinating than myth, and the real story of the Knights Templar is extraordinary enough without adding legends. The Knights Templar disappeared more than 7 centuries ago, but their story continues to captivate millions of people around the world. Legends of hidden treasure, secret societies, and sacred relics may never completely disappear. Yet the real history of the Templars is even more remarkable. They changed medieval warfare, transformed international finance, and became victims of political ambition rather than proven guilt. Their greatest legacy is not buried gold, but the extraordinary true story they left behind.